Hey guys, it's Brooke from The Vintage Gardener, and so I'm going to give you guys an update, or actually I guess I should give you guys the background, because I've gotten a lot of new likes to my page, and so some of the stuff I'm about to tell you was kind of in the past. I don't know how far some people have watched on the videos on Facebook or even the ones on YouTube, because I am on YouTube under Vintage Gardener NJ, so you can watch the past videos rather than trying to search for them on Facebook. So basically, I'm selling my house. I'm an attorney. I'm getting burnt out. I want to do something different. What I'd like to do, because I really love is gardening, but there's a lack of diversity with plants. If you go to garden centers, even if you go to because I go to specialty garden centers, like the independent ones, like ones that are rated like master nurseries, that sort of thing, and you see this exact same types of plants. Nobody really has anything different or unique, and that's because even the, I guess you would say, more upscale garden places still are getting their plants from growers, so they're still at the mercy of growers. They're not growing the plants themselves. And so that's what I want to do. I want to grow plants. Some of them will be, they'll be annuals, there'll be some perennials, but I just want to grow stuff that you're not going to find in a garden center. One of the people that inspired me is Kathleen from Peony's Envy, which is in Burnsville, New Jersey, which is like an hour and a half north. All she grows is peonies. I mean, every time she's at the Philadelphia Flower Show, I'm always buying stuff from her. As a matter of fact, she's coming out with new varieties, which I need to buy at least one. And so all she grows is peonies, and I don't want to be that restricted. I do want to grow some other things, but she really loves it, and I could tell. And it's so much fun, and it's just being a lawyer is stressful and that sort of thing. So I just want to do something different, and I know that it's going to take time, because part of it is I need to figure out what's going to work well in this particular area. And there's, so I got to take into consideration things like soil, and just the biggest thing is the change in climate. And that's something that I'm going to go over probably later in a podcast. But so I put my house on the market in end of March. I was under contract with another place. It was contingent on the sale of this house. I had 30 days to sell my house. The plan was to put my house on the market for right around market value, because if I put it for it was actually the market value, it would go faster. I was a little bit apprehensive about that, because everyone everywhere else tends to artificially inflate their price, and then start bringing it down. But because I was under contract, I did not want to be sitting on the market for ages. So I had a snag. The first snag was that the property next door to mine, which is township property, and it's also empty, had a sign on it that said environmental investigation / cleanup. Now, it was nothing that infected my property in any shape, form, or fashion, but of course everybody assumed that it was a Superfund site. My realtor, I did get the information to give it to my realtor. She explained the situation to people, like it's not even affecting the property. It's just they removed a building. They had some, I think it was like an underground oil tank, nothing big, but nobody, even though people could have called, and I know one person did, I think everybody just walked. And so that was like the first 30 days, because the township had to go through sets of testing. So after the last set of testing that came back clean, they're like, we can, they had to do this whole thing to move the sign, but the environmental consultant told the township that basically it has to be, the sign has to be open, and obvious, but it gave them the leeway to decide where that was. So they moved the sign. And I had another open house, which was not well attended. It was just a single, it was just like two people. And so, the first 30 days on the market are crucial, and I kind of blew it. Mine was just kind of blown. But my realtor was hoping that, we lowered the price slightly, and hopefully that would just kind of, put it back on the map, that sort of thing. And So I just had, like, after, let's see, I guess the first weekend and first open house, I wasn't getting any requests for showings. I did watch somebody drive down my street to see the house, and as soon as they saw the sign, they read it and turned around and drove away. And so I think in July, I did have a few more people come, but it's been trickling. A lot there. Yeah, so I have had one offer. The person, quite frankly, I don't think they could really afford my house, because they wanted me to just like knock off $30,000 just because. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry, my house is brand new construction. You just don't take $30,000 off the price when it's being offered as market value. It just, and at the end of the day, like, my realtor had a conversation with the other realtor, and at the end of the day, like I said, my realtor and I were pretty confident of the fact that the person really just could not afford the house, and they wanted something they could not afford. And so they were making stupid comments like, oh, well, when you leave your street, it's hard to make a left turn. Well, it's hard making a left turn off of any street. I mean, come on, you take your time. Then, my house, I live in a historic district. So yes, this is in most historic districts, there are cemeteries because there are old churches. And so a lot of properties in this section are either next to a cemetery, facing a cemetery, or their property abuts. Like, if you look over the back fence, there's a cemetery. And so that was the complaint. Well, there's a cemetery behind your backyard. Well, first off, there's no headstones in my backyard, so okay. But the thing is, like, okay, well, so the neighbors are quiet, like, no wild parties. And so it was like a lot of nitpicky stuff that just had nothing to do with the price of tea in China. One person didn't complain about the price. They just said, well, you're located across from a municipal building, and I don't like that. Okay, well, okay, I mean, I can't help that. I mean, but they did say that the house was really neat. They loved the gardens. They said everything was beautiful. It was just that one thing, which, fair enough. So I had another person come in today. I'm not really sure what their expectation was. I'm beginning to feel that because of all these, television shows where people are flipping, I don't know, like, I think everybody walks into every single house going like, everybody just wants it for nothing. Like, I just don't understand. So they're just like, oh, it's too high. I'm not, like I said, I don't know what their expectation was. To be quite honest, there are similar houses that are new construction in my town that are going for a lot more money than what I'm asking. So I'm not sure what they're getting their numbers from. But that's the story. So it's taking a lot longer than I thought. It's very frustrating because when the 30 days elapsed, the owner of that house was pretty nasty. She was actually rather insulting about my house because she looked me up, and interestingly enough, she still hasn't sold her house. And that price continues to come down, and it's probably going to come down to lower than what I actually offered for it, which I think is quite ironic. But I had seen two other houses. One had 5 acres, one had 4.5 acres, and they've already sold. And so I'm kind of bummed about that because I feel like I'm kind of back at square one because, and I did go and look at some houses this weekend. I struck out on all 3. It was just, wow. So there is one I saw, and it does need work, and I can clearly see that. A lot of work, and I don't know, I will probably, if it was completely fixed up, I kind of sort of know what it would go for, but the fact that it's still in the market for as long probably means that, I don't know, I just need to go in and see it. I'm probably gonna ask my realtor if he can arrange a showing for that. That one has about 3.5 acres, so yeah. But like I said, I'm very discouraged right now. So that's the story. I'm hoping at some point I will get a sale. I mean, I know that my house is unique in this town. It's also, my house really is for either a couple who's starting out, or somebody who's downsizing. So it's definitely a smaller market. And so I know because it's a smaller market, it's going to take a little bit longer. So I will keep you guys posted. Hopefully I'll have some good news for you sooner rather than later. And then I can get to planning my new garden. So that's it. I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching.